Hello, everyone! The city of dreams, temptation, and power. In a shabby apartment that smells of cheap soup and old pillows, a man is dying. A man whose name is no longer spoken with respect. His name is Goriot. Once he was wealthy, respected, loved, now forgotten, mocked, disgraced. But he is no villain, no beggar, no criminal. He is just a simple father who gave everything to the last kind, to the last breath, and his daughters. They are dining in the finest salons of Paris, pretending he doesn't exist. This novel isn't just a story of a father and his children, yeah? It is the story of a world where love is devalued, where gold is worth more than blood, and where the worst shame is to be kind among predators. Stay with us, and you'll see how an invisible thread binds an old man, a young student, and a former convict. Goodness, ambition, and crime under one roof. This is Father Goriot by Honoré de Balzac, and you won't leave this story the same. Subscribe to RobertBooks channel, cause for books that never let go. Let's begin. So, imagine Paris, late autumn 1819, dim light, street Rue Neuve Sainte-Geneviève. Sorry for my perfect French. Yeah. There is a big house, Madame Vauquer's boarding house, a respectable establishment for elderly persons and young men. But this house is more than that. It is an anatomical theater where, under Balzac's microscope, we will see it all: poverty, vanity, downfall, secret hopes, illusions, and desperate mad love. This is where people gather who have already lost or haven't yet realized they will lose. 7 tenants live here, each with their own drama. The key figures. First of all, it's Jean Joachim Jean-Joachim Goriot, yeah, our main character. Once a wealthy vermicelli manufacturer, now a pathetic old man living on the worst floor. They mock him, they despise him, they call him a pasta Goriot. Next one is Eugène de Rastignac, 21-year-old law student from a poor but noble family, freshly arrived from the southern provinces. Third one, Vautrin, charming, mysterious, dangerous. He seems like a cheerful loafer, in reality a former convict, hiding under false identity. The boarders are grotesque parodies of their former lives. One was a failed merchant, another a ruined bourgeois, but Goriot remains the most mysterious, not a thief, not a beggar, just a wronged father. Madame Vauquer boarding house is a model of Parisian society of that time. The building's floors reflect the layers of social hierarchy. Goriot lives at the very bottom, literally and figuratively, yeah? Vautrin's rooms feels like a predator's lair. Rastignac lives in the middle, not yet at the top, but not long at the bottom, yeah? He's in the motion. The dining room, the first clash of characters, cause of the shared table, surveillance. Everyone watches who eats what, who pays how, who stares at whom. Goriot detached. He seems to be waiting for someone. He receives letters. He lives. He lives to read them alone. He also secretly sends money through servants. It is rumored that women in luxury carriages visit him. Everyone suspects he has daughters, but he never speaks of them. Goriot was once rich but went bankrupt with some time. All he has left are two daughters to whom he has gave not just money but all his soul. He's a father who cannot stop loving even when love becomes a whip. Our second scene in this book, the salon of Madame de ah, Bouzon, Boison. Oh, yeah. It is a place where beauty is a weapon and name is currency. It opens every door. Madame Anastasie de Boison, a social lioness, influential, wealthy, noble, she receives Rastignac condescendingly, yet with some interest. Rastignac observes, learns, he quickly understands if you want to succeed in Paris, you must play and play beautifully, without compassion, without mercy, but with a smile. Smile. First temptation, he sees Delphine de Nucingen, a charming lady. He watches from afar. She is one of Goriot's daughters, by the way, but he doesn't know that yet. He seems a woman whose face was like light playing on water. He doesn't know her name, but already feels she's in his ticket to another world. She is, yeah, his ticket to another world, right, yeah. Salon society, everyone is performing, because husbands knows about lovers but stay silent. Ladies smile but dream of revenge. Men whisper behind his back but bow to faces. Yeah, Rastignac realizes this world runs not on intelligence, nor honor, nor hard work, but on appearance, intrigue, blooding, and the art of pretending. This is where ambition is born, is raised. Rastignac no longer wants to be a lawyer. He wants to be in the hall, not at the door. And he is ready to pay but doesn't yet know the price. High society is a theater where even lies require talent. He feels it. Paris is not a city, it's a web. Once you caught, you either extract gold or suffocate. Summary so far. Rastignac discovers new Paris luxuries, fake, seductive. He meets Delphine, not knowing she's the daughter of the humiliated old man he dines with. He decides he will climb, not through strength, not through knowledge, but through connections. And this is his first step toward compressing his transcendence. Let's talk about Father Goriot. Jean-Joachim Goriot was once rich, a vermicelli king, a symbol of bourgeois success, but everything changed when he had daughters. From that moment, he ceased being a businessman, he became a father. And everything he did for them, for two women who would become his pride, his punishment, and finally his grave. Yeah. Rastignac notices strange things. Women in expensive carriages visit Goriot, yet never claim to know him. He constantly gives away money, removes jewelry, even sells his bedding. Are you kidding, guys? Daughters, what a shame to you. So he sells his bed to send them something and leaves himself in poverty, humiliation, eating stop soup. One night, Goriot opens up. He speaks to Rastignac, breaking, trembling, eyes full of tears. I gave them everything. I didn't even want them to marry. I wanted them only with me. But is that selfish? No. They needed me when they were girls, and now I'm a burden. His daughters, Anastasia de Restot, married to a count, lives in high society, changed her name because ashamed of her father. Really? Delphine de Nucingen, banker's wife, luxuries, passionate, capricious, loves Rastignac with the time. They use him for money. We're talking about father, yeah. Uh, but never let him into their homes. They let him to be father, but only in the shadows, without a name, without a place at their table. Goriot wasn't naive. He knew, he saw, but he kept loving because a father is not the one who waits, but the one who gives, even if he receives nothing back. I'm like their lover, gave everything, received nothing. I'm their shame, the one they fear. But I made them happy. Goriot is the archetype of the martyr father. His love knows no limits, but also no pride. His room a coffee in advance. He is already exiled while still alive. His letters and trinkets, relics of a past of clings to like sacred treasures. Rastignac is the only one who hears his pain, and for the first time asks, is the game of mask really worth such sacrifice? Result of the scene. Father Goriot is a tragedy of Wirsha. He is destroyed not by poverty but by the indifference of those he lived for. Rastignac realizes the price of high society, not gold but souls. Balzac shows Paris doesn't kill with weapons, it rots love from within. From here, the novel becomes a tragedy, but betrayal, death, and a funeral still await. Another figure emerges in the novel, a man named Vautrin. Vautrin is a man who has survived hard labor. He knows the laws of life. He builds no illusions. He says, you want to live beautifully? Yeah? Escape this hole, wear fine clothes, ride in a carriage, sit beside Duchess. I'll show you how, but not for your pretty eyes, for cold blood, for calculation, for a predator's grip. Quote from Rastignac. He knew Vautrin wasn't who he seemed. But he had no idea how deep it went. When the door closed, a conversation began that would change him forever. Because Vautrin didn't offer money, he offered a way up through death. The offer. One of the boarders, Victorine Tollefer, is a poor girl from a banker's family. Her brother is the heir. She has been disowned in the bra. If the brothers dies, Victorine will inherit. Yeah, what Hen offers to arrange an accident. All Rastignac has to do is marry her, and he'll enter high society, rich and influential. You won't have to do anything. You just won't know anything. Rastignac's reaction. He is in shock. He says nothing. He realizes the devil is not a monster. The devil is rational, logical, charming. Why wait 10 years when you can do it in 3 months? You are not a saint, you are just afraid of blood on your gloves. This is more than a temptation scene, it's a philosophical manifest. Vodhan is the voice of power. The world is ruled by those who are not afraid to be predators. And you, Rastignac, what are you? A man or a sheep? The weak perish. Paris is a slaughterhouse. You want to live with money? Be the butcher, not the carcass. You think you'll stay clean joining the ball. Here people trample those who refuse to trample others. Rastignac wavers. He wants wealth, but he's not ready for blood. He stands at the threshold, and only life will push him one way or another. One way or another. Okay, yeah. Paris, a city where truth comes not with trumpets, but as a summons, a policeman gesture, and the words "Citizen Vautrin, you are under arrest." And on that same day, in the same crumbling house, another man is dying, slowly, silently, with hope that never comes. The arrest of Vautrin. Madame Couture, Victorine's guardian, reports him to the police. Vautrin is arrested during breakfast. He smiles, doesn't resist, says a wry goodbye to Rastignac. "Goodbye, boy. You are on your own way. Choose, wolf or sheep. I'm going back to where I've already been, and you are hidden where you don't yet know what you'll become." At this moment, the veil of romantic ambition falls. Paris is no longer a dream, it's a brutal machine. Meanwhile, Goriot's final hours. He's sick, in bed, burning with fever, and he calls for his daughters. He believes they will come. He pleads with Rastignac, "Tell them, I'm waiting, I'm not angry, I'm just waiting." He hallucinates, speaks to ghosts, Anastasia, Delphine. Rastignac runs to them, begs them to come, and hears, "I have a soiree at the Duchess's. I can't." Or, "I can't, he won't know anyway." They don't come, and Goriot dies alone, thinking maybe they will come tomorrow. This is not just the death of a father. It is the death of humanity. Goriot didn't die for illness, he died from lack of love. In Balzac's work, people don't die from bullets. They die from being forgotten. They didn't come, but I gave them everything. Everything. They are alive, they are happy, that's what matters, right? He died thinking they were just late. Same conclusion, Vautrin is unmasked, but undefeated. He lives leaving behind a moral vacuum. Goriot dies not of poverty but from rejected love. Rastignac loses his foundation, all his values collapse. Balzac shows Paris is a place where feelings are devalued and dreams drown in cynicism, where when everything has died, all that's left is to become someone or disappear forever. This was not just the funeral of Goriot, it was the funeral of gratitude, of the belief that goodness matters. It's the moment one heart dies and another is born, cold, determined. Goriot is buried like a pauper. Neither daughter comes. The priest mutters formal words. Rastignac, the only one who understands that something terrible has happened. He has to borrow money to bury a man he barely knew, but whose tragedy shocked him to his core. Goriot was humiliated even after death, buried without a name, without tears, without memory. After the funeral, Rastignac climbs the path to Montmartre. He looks at Paris below, the city of light, gold, vice, and power. He stands in darkness in his coat, alone, and then he utters the phrase that launched an entire literary cycle. Now we shall see who wins, I or you, Paris. This is a challenge, a woe, the beginning of a new life. He's no longer the same. He survived Vautrin and didn't fall, and witnessed Goriot and didn't harden. But now he knows if you want to live, you must be ready to fight against the system, against hypocrisy, against yourself. He spoke those words slowly, clearly, with a cold resolve, then stepped down toward to the glowing city that was already waiting to his answer. Final symbolism. Goriot left with faith in love and perished. Vautrin left with faith in strength and was captured. Rastignac remains. He saw both truth, and now he builds his own. Montmartre, the observes hill over Paris. From this moment, he is no longer provincial, he is a player. Final takeaway. Rastignac makes a choice not for virtue, not for crime. He chooses power and the price for it. Balzac ends for not with death, but with transformation. Father Goriot is not just a novel about family, it's a novel about growing up in a society where feelings are weak and will is the law. That phrase on the hill ignites the human comedy, Balzac's epic cycle. From here begins Rastignac's journey through careers, women, ambition, and ruin. You think Balzac wrote a novel about poverty? No, not at all. He wrote a novel about us, about those who once believed that love was more important than gold, and then learned every choice is a battle. You or Paris, you or your conscience, you or you. If you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe to our RobertBooks channel, leave a like, a comment, and see you soon. Goodbye for now.